Welcome to MojoPlays. Today, we're looking at 10 PS1 games that are still fun to play.
Remember Foxhound?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes, we have no one like that in our unit.
You won't even notice these games are decades old. Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Gran Turismo 2. For racing game fans, it doesn't get much better than Gran Turismo 2, one of the most robust and content-packed games seen on the PS1. In fact, the game contained so much stuff that it had to be split onto 2 discs. With 29 tracks loaded onto those CDs and over 600 cars, you'd never run out of things to do and different ways to play. While modern racing games are much more graphically powerful, it's a genre ruled by gameplay, and GT2 had great gameplay in droves. Featuring smarter and more ruthless rival AI than any other game in the series, you can play solo or go for split-screen co-op. Resident Evil 2. The 1996 Resident Evil may have been iconic, but we'd rather go to the hallowed halls of the RPD than the Spencer Mansion. This was Leon Kennedy's first appearance as a rookie cop, immediately subjected to a zombie outbreak and far-reaching conspiracy. If you loved this game when it came out, then you'll still love it for the nostalgia factor, while for new players, the classic jump scares won't be lost on you. And the original still boasts something far scarier than the 2019 remake: old-school tank controls. If you can get to grips with those, there's no reason you won't still enjoy Resident Evil 2.
No. I have to find my brother.
You're right. This is just the beginning.
Silent Hill. You'll never forget the first time you explored the foggy streets of Silent Hill, an eerie town overrun with strange monsters. Harry Mason needs to find his adoptive daughter, lost somewhere nearby, while uncovering the town's unsettling secrets as well.
No! Get away from me!
Bad girl.
The first game utilized many gameplay elements that exist in the best survival horror games to date, but it also boasted superb and chilling sound design from composer Akira Yamaoka. The clunky polygons don't make Silent Hill less scary, and with the series now a shadow of its former self, there's no better time to go back to basics with this franchise-spawning classic.
Feeling this child's pain, it's sure to come.
Crash Bandicoot Warped. Until 2020, Warped was the final entry in Crash Bandicoot's original trilogy, thought by many to be the best of all 3. Considering every Crash game is the creme de la creme of the PS1, that makes Crash 3 gaming royalty. It's got all the grueling difficulty but equally rewarding platforming you expect from Crash, with all the fine-tuning and prestige every Naughty Dog game has, as well as being a haven for the completionists out there. Though no Crash games made it onto the PS Classic, they were all remastered for the Insane trilogy, keeping the gameplay intact and improving the graphics, a winner for fans of the originals.
I'm sorry. This is the part where I'm supposed to be angry.
Dino Crisis.
That's no lizard. It's a dinosaur.
Dinosaur?
Look, something's really wrong with this place.
Capcom may be experts where zombie survival horror games are concerned, but that didn't stop them from branching out. In 1999, the same minds behind Resident Evil gave us Dino Crisis, which has a similar premise but with rabid, violent dinosaurs instead of virus-stricken mutants. If you think dinosaurs are an odd choice for survival horror, you won't after coming face to face with a velociraptor with minimal inventory space for ammo and healing items. It's a good thing this game has aged so well and still has plenty of scare factor, because sadly, there aren't currently any plans for a flashy remake. Spyro the Dragon. The most adorable dragon to ever breathe fire, Spyro has remained a beloved video game character ever since his first appearance on PS1. In his first outing, Spyro is tasked with rescuing all the Elder Dragons who have been captured and frozen by Nasty Nork, collecting plenty of gems along the way. The gameplay itself isn't too challenging nor unique in the world of 1990s 3D platformers, but Spyro still has winning visuals, and the great voice work created memorable characters in all the other dragons too. Fun for people of all ages, it's easy to see why Spyro has become so popular.
I expect Nasty's really starting to worry about you.
I'd be shaking in my Nork boots if I were him.
Final Fantasy VII. The first 3D Final Fantasy remains the gold standard for the franchise's subsequent 3D releases, and for good reason. The story. Cloud Strife, Sword for Hire, reluctantly tags along with Avalanche to take down Shinra, the nefarious power company which controls the city of Midgar. The game's themes were topical in the 90s, and they're still topical today, with concern for the environment at an all-time high. The game has received a big-budget PS4 remake to flesh out many of the side characters, but if you're a fan of classic turn-based combat, you can't go wrong with playing the original in 2020, and you'll actually be able to get to the end too. Tekken 3. It's easy enough for a fighting game to go wrong. If servers don't work and there's even the slightest input delay, the entire experience is ruined. But despite this, fighting game perfection was already achieved even on home consoles back in the 90s, when the arcade version of Tekken 3 was ported onto PS1. Widely regarded as the best game in the franchise, the love for Tekken 3 has only gotten stronger in the time since its launch, prompting the release of a mobile version and a vinyl of the game's iconic soundtrack. You can even play it for free in your web browser. Castlevania: Symphony of the Night. 3D, realistic graphics are always the quickest to age, looking clunky and outdated in just a few years. But games don't need to be realistic to be visually stunning, and Symphony of the Night's outstanding pixel art still stands out. Playing it now, you won't be exhausted by bizarre polygons and character models barely recognizable as human. With fluid gameplay, outstanding and original character design, and the trademark emphasis on exploration, it's easy to see why so many people still swear by it. And as of 2020, the game has been released on mobile devices by Konami, introducing the classic to an entirely new generation of players. Metal Gear Solid.
If there's anyone who can figure out how to stop Metal Gear from launching, it's him.
What if he can't come up with anything?
You'll have to destroy it. Emmerich knows how to destroy Metal Gear.
Hideo Kojima's first masterpiece of many, it's difficult to understate the enormous influence Metal Gear Solid has had on the industry. Launching a critically acclaimed series and revolutionizing stealth-based gameplay, the core elements of Kojima's more recent titles are still clearly present here.
Huh? Metal Gear? Yeah. What's Metal Gear really designed for?
And on top of the legendary gameplay was the way that the story was conveyed, through graphically impressive cutscenes rendered in-game. It made Metal Gear Solid the most cinematic game ever released in '98 and has assured its longevity. Miles ahead of its time, it's still fun, engaging, and groundbreaking even today. And it's always going to be worth it to go back and see where the Solid saga began.
But if you love someone, you have to be able to protect them.
I think so too.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.